Alright, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kodash, the brothers unto the apostles and the elders and witnesses who not surely do well. Peace and blessings unto the Akim, not throughout the four corners of the world, that push this word. In all sincerity, I'm with all religions. This is Matana from Trinidad Campus, coming to the Spirit and the Port Lord once again to do another lesson to edify the Lord's flock. This one gonna be really short. Just touching into what's taking place throughout the world today, and in the news. And the main thing in the news right now, they jumped from the Max 19, to what's taking place on the Ukrainian-Russian border, where they say that Russia is showing aggression towards Ukraine, because they don't want the Ukraine to join the NATO, or they don't want the NATO to extend the border further east, moving closer towards Russia. And this is the main thing in the news right now. And for those who know that this thing either it climax or it may die back down, because everything isn't fulfilled yet. But what we do know is that according to the scriptures, the bear, which is the Russians today, is gonna take down this beast system, as it was the feet, and the feet represents the end. And they are gonna be the ones to lead the destruction upon the Babylon the Great, which is the whore that sits upon the beast. But for the meanwhile, what we do know is that this prophecy here in Revelation 13 and 13 and 16, it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which we know by now. And if you've been following along all the time, you would know what that is. That is the MOTB, which is the RFID microchip. It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name. So for you who getting anxious about what's taking place surrounding Russia and Ukraine, guess what? This needs to take place first, and we know that without a doubt, because the scripture says that Isaiah 34 and 16, it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, which is the holy scriptures, and read. No one of these shall fail. What that's speaking about? I'm speaking about the prophecy. It says, no one of these shall fail, and none shall want to meet. No one of these shall fail. So nothing that the Most High made, no prophecy that the Most High made is gonna fail. You understand? Isaiah 55 real quick. I think it was 9 or 10 or something around there. It says, far as the rain, Isaiah 55 verse 10, it says, far as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and return it not thither, but water the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And we seeing, it's not that we seeing that they're pushing for the RFID chip. The thing is that we seeing that they developing the infrastructure in which they're gonna use, to fully implement or fully mandate the RFID microchip. So it is right around the corner. All these things here that happening are made distractions, for laws that they're pushing underneath that they might broadcast in the news, but they're not gonna get any major headline because of what they're doing, and this is a thing that they're accustomed doing. Create a distraction to divert your attention away from the more weightier matters, more crucial points, and these are the times when they writing laws and nobody has a clue. The scripture says in Matthew 24. I'll start back at verse 4. It says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many." Like all these teachers that calling themselves bishops and chief high priests and all these things, they come in Lord's name and saying, hey, they are the anointed. Or the scriptures say they shall deceive many. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So don't be fazed, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And the world went through World War One, we went through World War Two, the Cold War, the U.S. Cuban missile crisis. All these things were wars and rumors of wars. From the time of the Cold War to now, we've been hearing of rumors of wars. The U.S. invaded the Middle East. These countries in the Middle East, they were wars. And some of them were rumors of wars. But guess what? The Lord said, "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Now we know in the scripture, I think it's Revelation 11 and verse 15. Let me see real quick. 11 and 15. No, 11 and 15. Let's see. No. 11 and 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." When you read, I think it was in Revelation 8 chapter, it said that heard a voice saying, "Woe, woe, woe," which woe means destruction. So you heard destruction 3 times. So that represents the first, second, and the third world wars. Now, as I read just now, the second woe is past, and the third cometh quickly. So what that means, it's supposed to be looking out for a third world war. Matthew 24 verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake." So all these things must happen before the end. Before the end. Before Yahushua comes to deliver up his elect. All these things we're going to hear about, we're going to suffer, we're going to have to endure before the Lord comes. But I'm going to jump to the point. It says, verse 13, it says, "But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." So if you endure it for a while, scriptures say, all the righteousness of the righteous will be forgotten. The Lord said that. All the righteousness of the righteous will be forgotten. We shall be remembered for his iniquity. So if you endure for a season or for a while, that the times that you went out and preached the word, it's not going to be remembered, but it's going to be forgotten, because at one point in time it became offended in the Lord. It became offended either by persecutions or afflictions or sufferings, or because it had to endure a while. So let us get this preached up real quick. Second is just 9 chapter. You know what? I'm going to start from 8 and the second to last verse. What's verse 61? 2 Corinthians 8 and verse 61, it says, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shewed unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. You see, so ultimately, when you read through the scriptures, you will understand, you come to the understanding that the Lord is not for everyone. No matter how nice you have the Lord, how merciful you put on the Lord as He's not for everyone. He have a selective few, and the more rare you are, is the more precious you are. You know that. You know that. The more rare or scarce something is the more precious it becomes. So if the Lord deals with a selective amount of men, or a few amount of men, guess what? He become more precious. He's not showing himself unto all people. It's like if you basically bring it into the terms of a woman. If a woman been with a lot of men, 2-3 men, nobody's gonna want her. Well, back then, now the places helter skelter, the mentality of men is fucked up. So you get all kind of upside down judgment these days. But back then, a woman that had a man before, or 2-3 men in her life, 4-5 men, nobody would want her. You understand? Or what her man once was something that nobody else had, which was a virgin, unless she's a widow. Let me just jump back to the point. It said, and therefore is my judgment not at hand. These things have I not shewed unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, now hast thou shewed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last time, but at what time thou hast not shewed me. So the prophet Ezra saying that the Lord showed him the multitude of wonders that he will do in the last days, which we are in now, but when he didn't show him. When you read the 9th chapter, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made. And that is what we see right now. The Lord began to visit the world which he made. He been away for a while. But guess what? In these times, because we see part of the signs past, that he began to visit the world which he made. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So, I'm going to read this last verse. It said, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. The scripture said there shall be signs in the heavens and in the moon. The moon shall be turned red. Your daughters and your sons gonna get visions and dreams. So we need time of the end. It's just that a couple prophecies needs to be fulfilled again, and then boom, that'll be it. Hey, we almost out of this place. we're gonna rejoice when this world is lamenting, when all the people that trusted in this world, that trusted in the flesh, is disappointed. We're gonna rejoice, because we're gonna have the final laugh. We're gonna have the final victory. We are the ones that overcome the world through our faith. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, I will listen to the apostles and the elders, agreements from that truly do well, peace and blessings unto the Akim, truly 4 coins of the world, and until next time, I say shalom.